Are you very aware that you try to preserve fleeting moments?
Well, it depends what you call fleeting. Sometimes, in a geologic sense, a year is a very fleeting moment. And sometimes with the people, it's a 25th of a second.
These days, you're most likely to see the work of American photographer Ansel Adams on a postcard or on the wall of your boss's office. His photographs are so ubiquitous now that it's easy to walk by them without noticing their technical and aesthetic mastery. Indeed, thanks to things like Instagram and Snapchat, photographs in general are so ever-present in our lives that standards about what we believe to be great work in this field are drowned out by the literally billions of photos that are uploaded to these services every day.
I come across something that excites me. I see the picture in my mind's eye, and I make the photograph, and then I give it to you as the equivalent of what I saw and felt.
In the beginning, Ansel Adams took photographs not unlike all those millions of us on Instagram, as a visual diary of his experience. Adams took his first brownie box camera on trips to the Sierra Nevada mountains, the place that would enthrall him for the rest of his life. His early photographs are enthusiastic, but uninspired. Adams had that feeling that I have every single time I pick up a still camera, of not getting in the print what I see with my eyes. Now, this is largely because the dynamic range of the human eye, the brightest and darkest thing it can see at the same time, exceeds any film or digital camera, especially those Ansel was using in the early 20th century. But this all changed for Adams on April 10th, 1927. The footage you're watching right now is from an excursion Adams took with his future wife, Virginia, to the Half Dome in Yosemite National Park. Hauling his Corona View camera, 2 lenses, 2 filters, a heavy wooden tripod, and 12 glass plates, he made his way onto the so-called diving board, where you can look along the side of the massive granite dome. And here, Adams had a vision of what he wanted his image to look like. He cites this as his first conscious use of the technique called visualization.
The whole key lies very specifically in seeing it in the mind's eye, which we call visualization.
First, Adams tried his yellow filter. This is the image it produced, similar probably to what Adams saw looking through the camera's viewfinder. But it's not what he visualized in his mind's eye. There was no excitement in the frame. So he took out his red filter for a second shot. He set the exposure at f22 and exposed the plate for 5 seconds. When Adams developed this photo and it matched his internal visualization, he knew that this was his life's calling. And look at the difference it makes. The darkened sky charges the image with drama and intensity in contrast. And Adams had an instinctive genius about tonal balance and contrast, and to formalize his craft, to ensure that he could achieve his visualizations, he developed another tool with his friend Fred Archer called the zone system. The zone system splits the full range of black to white into 11 separate zones, each one f-stop or aperture setting apart. The photographer spot meters different elements in his frame and determines where everything fits in the zones. This way, the photographer has a sense of what his entire frame will look like before he shoots, knowing how everything will change with different exposures. Now, take a look at Adams' famous photo of the Tetons and the Snake River taken in 1942. The contrast here is really incredible. And to get a better sense of it, let's pixelate the image. Look how Adams represents basically every zone in the system, all the way from zone 0, full black, in the shadow of the mountains here, to zone 10, in the light reflecting off the river. What's even more extraordinary is his ability to capture the highlight detail in the clouds and elsewhere in the river, and the shadow details in the trees that cover the bank.
Perhaps music is the most expressive of the arts. However, as a photographer, I believe that creative photography, when practiced in terms of its inherent qualities, may also reveal endless horizons of meaning.
Ansel Adams' work, his devotion to craft, and more importantly, intention in photography, is an important example in our time, when there are more pictures posted in 6 months than there are stars in the Milky Way galaxy. Having fought so hard for the acceptance of photography as an art, Adams probably would have laughed at a statistic like that. Today, everyone has a camera. But how many visualize what they're going to capture beforehand? How many measure the light or hike for a day to reach the perfect spot? So the next time you walk by one of Ansel Adams' photographs in the hallway of your doctor's office, take a longer look and remember that our photographic world is the one he gave us.
The thing that excites me is that within not too many years, we're going to have a entirely new medium of expression in the electronic image. And I know the potentials are there. I know it's going to be wonderful.
Hey everybody, thanks for watching. I love Ansel Adams, such a good-hearted person and a great artist, and I had so much fun making this. A lot of cool things that I was experimenting with here, which is what I love to do. I just love to experiment with editing and try to give you something that I hope you haven't seen before on YouTube. So if you want to help support this channel, you can go right here and go to my Patreon page, pledge $1 or $3 per video. Everything helps. You guys have been amazing, and I will see you guys next Wednesday for something new. I'm excited.